I made a girl called Debbie a mixtape. This was the late 80s and they were a thing. Midway through, I added my own bit of spoken word poetry to try to win her over. As the music fades away, we make sweet, sweet music of our own. I gave it a couple of weeks to sink in, then called her. Hey Debs, did you listen to the tape I gave you? No, I gave it to my brother to listen to in his barrack room. Her brother was in the RAF. I'm positive we've all done this, and if you think you haven't, either you're yet to do it, or you already have and just haven't realised. In 6th grade band, I used to stare up at the lights above the stage, because I thought it would make my eyes sparkle if my crush happened to look over and see me. Looking back, I probably looked as if I had a mild stroke. Punched my face a bunch to bruise and swell it, so I could say I got in a fight and totally kicked the other guy's ass. My crush was a kid who lived down the block from my house. I stole his dog from his yard, and then went to his front door to return it and get to talk to him. He said he saw me take him out of the yard. I was in middle school and I had a crush on my best friend's brother. One day we saw Rio. I thought he'd be impressed if I showed him how smart I was by disproving everything in the movie. It was mostly stuff like, birds, actually can't really do that. Tried to raise a scooter down the steepest hill around, crashed into the back of a funeral hearse and shattered the back window. Cringiest thing I'd ever done for a girl was get a box of chocolates shaped like a heart, then wrap it with a love poem that went like, Knuckles is red, Sonic is blue, and I forget the rest. No, Krallicon, no! On the off chance you're watching this, please you gotta message me and tell me how that fucking poem ends. Rufus23 hasn't forgotten though, and strap yourselves in, because this is a bad one. I drew a picture of a knight fighting a dragon, and wrote a note asking her out. The note began, Hear ye, art thou single? 3rd grade, sent a letter to his house like a dork. Meet me in the schoolyard Saturday. That spelling error has haunted me for years. I once put a 1,500-piece puzzle of a plain field together and wrote a love note on the back for her. I then took it apart piece by piece and repackaged it to give her as a present because she told me she really liked puzzles. I later found out she donated it after I'd given it to her because it looked too hard to make. Made a PowerPoint presentation for a girl, highlighting all the ways we'd be good together. I gave her my mother's engagement ring. Built her name out of Legos. 1st grade crushes. That was 2 days ago. What? I thought girls were attracted to guys with open mouths. I mean, mate, what were you thinking? Don't ask me what I was thinking, but as a young kid, seeing commercials with models with dramatic looks in their faces, mouths open, no wonder chicks digged them. So I would walk around with a dramatic look on my face and my mouth slightly open, thinking I was hot. When I was 7, I had a crush on a girl 8 who told me she absolutely loved the smell of petrol. From then on, whenever I went to visit her, I drained about a half-cup petrol from the lawnmower and splashed it all over me. I'd bake cupcakes to try and get to him through his stomach. But I thought it was weird to just give him one, so I'd randomly bake them for the whole class. But I didn't want it to seem like I was only doing this for him, so I'd bake them for other classes too. Sometimes he wouldn't even eat one. Changed careers. Got baptised. Moved to Denmark. Joined the US Marines. I ate a slug. I did a bungee jump and I'm really afraid of heights. Had my ball bag pierced to impress a now very ex-girlfriend because she mentioned she liked it in, passing conversation. Every time I think I find a winner on this thread, someone has to go and one-up it. Met a girl who loved tattoos. Got a tattoo. Never got the girl. Well, let's have a look. It might be alright if it's quite a small one. I went up to a girl during a field day in middle school, got on one knee and sang the chorus of Toto's Africa. Back when you could record stuff from the radio onto a blank tape, I waited all damn day for this song to come on. Finally, I recorded it and biked like an hour and a half in the blistering heat to this girl's house and gave it to her. Turns out it was actually a Barney musical tape or something, and I didn't even record it right, so it was just all Barney the dinosaur music. We had a foreign exchange student my freshman year of high school. She was French and absolutely gorgeous, so I busted my ass and learned a love song from a very popular French opera. I sang it to her flawlessly. Found out that she was Swedish, not French. Lent her money so she could buy a present to her boyfriend. I wrote fan fiction with him in, then I showed him. analog pensive face emoji. I tried to impress my crush by pouring a glass of orange juice into my mouth while laying on my back. Instead, I poured it all into my eyes. I faked my eye exam to get glasses so I could have something to talk to my crush in 3rd grade about, resulting in me actually needing glasses. Was riding bikes with a girl I liked. Decided to have a race, and if I won, she'd like me. I rode my bike at the speed of light, speed if light, and left her in my dust. Rode all the way home and didn't see her for the rest of the summer. If the summer, I was flirting in class, and I asked, "So, what school do you go to?" Dressed confidently in a Zorro outfit. Oh God. I approached her in the middle of a 400-person lecture. I then proceeded to hand her a rose that was placed, oh God, in my mouth, and asked her to be my date. At Valentine's Day, I went to my crush door to give her red roses, tripped over the welcome mat, broke my nose against the glass. I bought red roses, got up early, went to her place and placed 1 rose on her doorstep, 1 on her windshield, 1 on her desk at work, and 1 in her coffee cup. This sounds like the beginning of a horror film. Hey, if you want a horror film, I bought a huge jar of pickles and ordered a bargain bag of preserved animal organs on Amazon. On Valentine's Day, I put the cow eye, pig heart, and porcelain letter U into the empty jar, topped it off with isopropyl alcohol as a preservative, and gave it to the girl I liked. We started dating a while later. She still has it, and now collects other things and displays them next to it in her room. How of everything we've seen, how is that the one that's worked?